So looking at the test, there are 12 limits from a graph. Those are generally pretty easy. That was basically the first page of the quiz you did, where you get a picture and we ask all sorts of limits: left limit, right limit, overall limit, function values. But most people did really well on that part, so that should go fine. Then there are 12 limits with algebra, I guess I'd say. Like that, you don't have a picture, you've got to do something. And you might remember from our little flow chart, always start with substitution. Sometimes you get an answer, that's great. Other times, if you get 0 over 0 or infinity over infinity, then you got to try one of our algebra tricks. Factoring, clearing fractions, and dealing with square roots. And then you substitute again, and then you've got your answer. Sort of within that though are one-sided limits. So remember, we have to plug in a little more than 3 or a little less than 5. And sometimes those end up being positive or negative infinity, so you've got to be careful about the signs. Then there were also limits as x goes to infinity. And that's when you're looking at the biggest top term and the biggest bottom term. Right, that was a long discussion about the only term that matters in the top is the biggest one, at least when x is 1,000,000, and the only one that matters in the bottom is the biggest one. And so you just look at those and then figure it out from there. There are 4, of that 12, 6 multiple choice, 6 free response. So you're split there. Four multiple choice about continuity. That was the stuff we were just looking at on worksheet 4. 1 prove continuity. Again, that's left limit equals right limit equals the function value at whatever place you're looking at. And then, because I'm feeling extra nice, I'll tell you that there's a bonus. I hadn't had a bonus in a while. And the bonus is basically average rate of change. Do you remember what average rate of change is? You're on the right track. AROC, or algebra average rate of change, is basically just algebra slope, just the good old slope formula. So that's what you were trying to say: y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So it's an easy thing to find. It's just, do you remember what average rate of change means? And that's an important thing headed into calculus. So that's why that keeps showing up on as a bonus. So hopefully next year you'll remember that average rate of change is really just a fancy word for algebra slope. And then next year we'll add instantaneous rate of change to that, but we'll worry about that later. It should add up to 29, 12, 24, 28, 29. It's not a block day class, but these first 12, those go super fast, right? That's just looking at the picture and picking off the right value. Some of these 12 go quick if the substitution works right away. Others take a little more time if you're stuck doing some algebra stuff. The one-sided ones and the infinity ones usually don't take long if you know what you're doing. So I don't think time will be a problem. That's my hope anyway. Any questions about any of those?